Well, hello there, and welcome to Strong, Courageous Men. I am your host, Caleb Effinger, and I have the joy of interviewing wise, godly men on a variety of topics. These conversations are intended to encourage us to be strong, courageous men, humbly living for the glory of Christ as we run this race toward heaven. Well, I want to welcome to the show my good friend, Mark Marino. Mark, it has been a joy to have little coffee dates with you, if I could say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mandates, we'll call them. Okay. If that sounds okay.
Let's roll with it.
And over the past couple of years, we've gotten to sit down and talk business and life and everything. And those have been very influential coffee times, and I've just really, really enjoyed getting to know you. So, brother, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
so happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Why don't you introduce yourself for our audience?
Yeah. So, my name is Mark Marino, and I'm the CEO of Red Rhino, and just sweet friend to Caleb Effinger, who I call the gentle giant.
I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's going to be missed.
So, Mark, I'm really excited about today's topic, which is being a godly CEO. I think that's what we're going to call it. And I've seen you be just that over the last couple of years that I've gotten to know you. And so I understand you didn't just kind of get there in one day. There was a journey. And so I love your story, your origin story. And maybe you could just kind of start us off with that. How'd you get here?
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, first off, Caleb, that's a super humbling title right there when it comes to a godly CEO. Just so thankful for the Lord's grace in my life. And it's truly been a humbling ride up to this point in the business. And just my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is everything. So, brother, I appreciate you saying that. When it comes to the origin story, this is something I give to all the new employees that come to the company. So they come in and we have this thing called the identity doc. And the identity doc is all the most important elements of the company. So we have on that the purpose statement, we have the mission statement, we have our values, and then our vision statement. And the purpose statement is to magnify God's glory by taking care of people and funding gospel ministry. So what I like to do is I like to tell people, guys, this is essentially, I start off the orientation by asking people, let me ask you the most important question you can ask yourself. The most important question is why? Why do you exist? So then I have a bunch of fun with the employees and I sit there and I pause and I'm like, guys, we're going to go super deep here. Why do you exist? And I just let that hang out. And a lot of times they don't have any answers. So you got a whole blend of believers and unbelievers in this room. And then I said, well, businesses also have a purpose as well. And we define that in this company as the purpose is to magnify God's glory, not our glory, and to take care of people and to fund gospel ministry. So essentially the background story is just the origin of how do we get there. So I'm going to blitz through so much of this story, but you're going to have to bear with me, Caleb. I'm going to take you back to the very beginning.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Are we good?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So the way I like to kick this off is you have me and you have my business partner, Danny Freddy. Okay. And I like to title this essentially how the Lord had to humble and save two prideful men to make them useful. So we start off by really the making of two prideful guys. So what you have is you have the background of me and Danny. I'll start off with the background of Danny. Danny was the typical white collar guy. And but his background was absolutely incredible of where that came from. So Danny, just to bring things back, he grew up with every sense of the word entrepreneurial father. You have rarely seen a guy like this, Caleb. So this is a dude where he is European and becomes very successful over in Europe in a travel agency. He marries an American model. He becomes very successful in Europe. Okay, he's an unbeliever. Marries an American model, buys a castle over in Europe. Okay, castle.
Wow.
Okay. He comes over to America. When he comes over to America, he opens up a travel agency, and it's like the third privately owned travel agency, largest travel agency in America.
Wow.
He has some kids, he has some daughters, a couple of daughters and a son, and that son's name's Danny. And Danny grows up and he's watching this crazy entrepreneur of a father. Well, Danny's dad takes Danny and sends him all over the world for his education. He's like, son, we're gonna go to Spain. We're gonna get you trained up some financial training in Spain, and you need to go learn Spanish over in Costa Rica. And you need to, so like Danny is like watching this dad. He's flying around the world. He's getting like the most incredible education you've ever seen. While this is happening, this is during the .com boom.
Oh, wow.
So you have Danny's father opens up what today would have been the first like WebMD. Okay. Wow. It was called NetGen. So he got together with all his European buddies. He put together funds. They started NetGen. So he takes this company, and this company goes public. And when it goes public, and Danny gets so upset when I talk about this, so that's why it's fun talking about it here in this interview. Let's just say Danny's family was worth tens of millions of dollars, is what I'm going to say. It was huge sums of money. It was done. Danny's family is set, and he's the son of this crazy entrepreneur. And do you think Danny was this really humble guy, Caleb? Would that be your guess?
Probably not, would be my guess. But
so Danny wasn't a believer, either with his father, and man, he was a super arrogant guy. He had this dad that was super successful. He was highly educated. Danny's just going to take over the world when he grows up. Okay, so that's Danny. I'm going to pause there a second, and then you get me. I had the exact opposite. I had the blue collar upbringing. So you had my dad, who did very well for himself, and he did very well for himself in the swimming pool industry. So he's growing up in the swimming pool industry. I'm learning all there is to know in the swimming pool industry. My dad trains me to fix pumps when I'm 12 years old. He starts paying me as a 12-year-old per pump. I start fixing them so quick that I'm making so much money as a 12-year-old. He has to stop paying me money. We get in this little argument in the garage, like his son. It's a funny moment, kind of looking back. And he's like, I can't pay you that much as a 12-year-old. And I get into the industry. I grow up, and next thing you know, I'm running my father's company. So I'm a young guy running this company full of older guys. And man, I was this super arrogant guy. Dad's super successful. I'm running this company as a young guy. And you got Danny and I, who are best friends growing up in this neighborhood together in that context. So what you really had was two best friends, different ends of the spectrum, the white collar, blue collar. Super.
There's a movie about that, right?
Is there?
Like the Prince and the Pauper or something. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Probably.
Sorry, Disney, if I got that wrong.
Well, so essentially you got two arrogant guys. And as we all know, pride goes before the fall. And in this context, let me just say, Danny's coming from an unbelieving background. I'm coming from Christian home, but it's all lip service at this point. I'm not saved. It's just profession. It's cheap profession. Well, pride goes before the fall, and so the humbling begins. And then truly what was happening, Caleb, is the Lord in his kindness was just starting to really till the soil and humble these arrogant young guys. So it starts with Danny. So Danny's set, father's big time entrepreneur, more money than he knows what to do with. It's like Danny just knows I'm going to work with dad like life is good. Well, dad takes a trip to Switzerland. He just opened up NetGen and went public. They're booming. He's walking around a lake. He comments about how beautiful of a day it is, has a heart attack, drops dead. So Danny's father dies in Switzerland, back in his hometown. You have shortly, what do you think happens to the stock at that point?
I don't know if I'm brilliant enough to be able to.
So what happens is across the ticker symbol, you have a news that comes out says CEO of NetGen has a heart attack.
Okay.
And the stock tanks. Well, essentially, Caleb, what happens is to protect investors, if you were one of the initial investors in that, you can't sell your shares.
Okay.
So Danny's father couldn't sell his shares. So he dies in the stock tanks. Well, he had put in he's an entrepreneur. He just goes for it. He put it all in the company. So essentially Danny's family loses everything.
Wow.
So they got small remnants. The father was an entrepreneur. Well, stick with me here, a lot of details, but Danny's sister, who was kind of like the dad, had a dad-like personality, took remnants of a company, an import-export company that her father owned, a little small thing, and she took it over. And when she took that over, essentially, they lose everything. Danny is the son now to a businessman who gave it all up. And he went from there and he tried to take his financial background to go into Morgan Stanley. Okay, so Danny tries to join Morgan Stanley, goes super high on the tests, gets into the job, can't make it. It's a sales job. He bombs Morgan Stanley, winds up going and working for his sister that holds the little remnants of this import-export company. So you got Danny, arrogant guy on top of the world, everything, he has everything he wants. Dad's dead, failed Morgan Stanley. My life is I'm working with my sister. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is Danny. Okay. Then you got me. I'm running my father's company. I think I'm a big shot. I'm on top of the world. I know how to run business. This is incredible. So one day in my father's house, okay, so I'm still living in his house.
Okay.
He taught me everything that I know. I'm sitting in his kitchen and I'm telling him about all these different business ideas we need to do, and he doesn't want to do any of them. And I put my finger in his face and I'm like, you're a dinosaur. You don't have a clue how to run business. And could you imagine your son, who you taught everything, making those comments? Yeah. So he later on, so many years later, told me how bad that cut him down, having his son do that, who he taught everything. Well, the Lord had some serious work to do on me. So in God's providence, my dad was like, hey, we're done. You're out of the company. And he essentially said, if you compete against me, I'll disown you. But he didn't use those exact words. He's like, don't compete against me. So anyways, you got Danny. Life's totally not turning out how he thought it would. And then you got me. And it's just like, I go from being this guy running this entire company, dad kicking me out. I go become a waiter. I'm waitering every night, making money. And then I'm out partying, just blowing all my money as an unbeliever. And it's like, man, that the Lord just taking us down to the dust.
Yeah.
So while this happened, and you got to forgive me because I know this is going to be a little bit of a longer story here, Caleb, but it all comes back to how meaningful it is on how we got to the point on seeing God glorified and not Danny and I, taking care of people and funding gospel ministry. So you got Danny and I, we're both roommates at this time. He's coming back from his sister job. I'm coming back from my waiter job. We're just talking about how we got dealt the bad hand in life. Like we're just two guys that are just really walloping in self-pity. And we're living together. Well, I don't know what she was thinking, but during this time, I just so happened to meet a beautiful, amazing girl named Lisette, who I winded up getting married to. So I married Lisette. So I wound up getting married. And as that happens, Lisette, as compared to Danny and I, was actually the most responsible person of the three of us. So she'd been working her whole life, and she actually put some money back. So I get the crazy idea to tell Danny, I think we need to go into business together. Like, let's do it. Like, you're with your sister, I'm a waiter, blah, blah, blah. I just got married. We got a little bit of money now. Like, let's go start a business. And this is what I like to call part 3, where the humbling continues right here. Yep. So I'll tell guys, have you ever thought we were great businessmen? Let these stories just solidify. We are not by any means. So anyways, we go and talk to Danny's sister in the import-export company. And we said, hey, you're in this region. Would you mind if we take another small little region, maybe in Jamaica? And she gave us the green light. So I convinced my wife to take so much of the money, and we go and open up a import-export company in Jamaica. So You got Danny and I fly over to Jamaica with Danny, and they're taking us around town, Caleb, and it's this, we need a guide, and we're going deep into Jamaica, and we don't have a clue what we're doing there, but it's like, we're going to go establish sales. Well, we find a guide, local guide, and this dude's getting mad respect wherever we go. And this is a long story, but the short version is, as he's taking us back from touring all these places in Montego Bay, Jamaica, he brings us into a field with about 100 Jamaican soccer players. And essentially we get robbed with a guy. He has a knife on him, and we get robbed. And it's like, we don't think we're making it back from Jamaica. So I don't got enough time to dive into all those details on this, but I'll share that with you at another time. Yeah. It's a crazy story. I don't want to ruin the story, but we do live. We live in this version. Yeah.
Okay, good.
In this version, we make it. So it's like, we get back. We do make it. We make it back in the States. We establish those connections. And brother, we're pushing this import-export business. Yeah. And we finally get to the point where we have the first guy that wants to do business with us. And when he wants to do business with us, he just says, hey, you need to give me a reduced invoice. And I didn't know exactly what he meant, but Danny did. And essentially what he was just saying is, hey, the import taxes in Jamaica are 40%. And the only way I'm going to buy stuff is if you lie to the government, Jamaican government, and say, I'm buying like half the stuff that I'm buying. So we were at a huge moral crossroad. Yeah. Like, even though I wasn't a believer, I was brought up in a just Christian home. And it's like, it's wrong. And I'm like, you're newly married. It's your wife's money. You got nothing. Yeah. It's like, Kayla, what do you do?
Crossroads.
You're at the crossroads. So Danny and I get in this huge blowout. Danny proceeds to tell me how that's what his father had been doing his entire life. Like, that's the way it's done. All small companies do that in light of the Jamaican government. Reduced invoices. Yeah. So I didn't think it would honor the Lord. I brought that up to Danny. Even as an unbeliever, I'm like, bro, this is wrong. Like, I think we should go home. We should talk about it in the morning. And we do that. Danny comes back over in the morning. I look at him. I'm like, bro, what are you thinking? And he's like, it's wrong. And we wind up shutting the company down.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So import-export company, fail. It's done. There's my wife's money. Well, Caleb, like I like to say, Danny and I are so smart. We're so smart that going from that failure, we take some more of my wife's money and we go and become day traders, stock day traders. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. Because you have a ton of experience.
That's right. That's right. So we run out and grab a couple of laptops, and Danny and I are showing up at my house in the morning. We got two coffees, and we're chinging these cups together. And we're back. We're day traders. We are day traders. So during this time, you have a strong stock play coming out. And I go to my wife, and we got about $10,000 left in the savings. And I say, honey, I got a surefire play. We can't lose. We can't lose, Caleb.
Always good words.
I know, it's going to end up.
Story.
It's going to end up good. So she's at work, and I take $10,000 and I put it on a Google options play. And the stock goes up, and it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and it lands right where it started. And I lose all $10,000. So I blow all of my wife's money while she's at work. And I call my wife at work, and I'm like, honey, I just lost all $10,000. And then, almost like a movie scene, as I like to say, she's coming home from work, and I'm sitting in the room on the couch by myself. And she comes walking in, and she doesn't say a word, but the look on her face is, I just married the biggest loser on the planet. And I remember thinking, she did just marry the biggest loser on the planet. I just tanked everything. Now I took all of my wife's money. I blew everything. And it's like the whole time the Lord was just bringing me down to the dust.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you got nothing. And now I blew all my wife's money. Now I really got nothing. So what do you think I do, Caleb? Where do I go?
You should be going to the Lord at this point.
I should have been going to the Lord. I wasn't going to the Lord. I'm like, I need to put some food on the table. Where do you think I went?
I bet you started another company.
That's not, after those two, that's not a bad guess. But I go to Dad. I go back to Dad.
Yep.
And now I go back to Dad, and I'm like, Dad. I go back, and I like to remember this. I don't know if this is true or not. Like, it looked like he had his hands and he's rubbing them together. Like, oh boy, I got you right where I want you. But I go back to Dad, and I'm like, Pops, I got nothing. I blew it. I blew everything. I was the guy that used to run his company. I was running everything. And now when I come back, I'm begging for work. And when I beg for work, hurricanes that just came through.
Okay.
There's a bunch of pools that are filthy. And he gives me 2 5-gallon buckets, Danny 2 5-gallon buckets. And he's like, essentially, welcome back. And we're sludging out sludge out of these pools that have been destroyed by the hurricanes. So I was the guy running the company, and now the guy on the bottom of the totem pole that's just sludging out all these pools. So as we're sludging out those pools, Danny and I get to the very end of sludging out the pool, working all day long. And it's just Danny's reminiscing about his education and all the things. I'm like, Danny, just keep your mouth shut, keep sludging the pool. Like, literally, that's what this scene looked like. And as I'm coming up the pool, starts pouring down. I slip. I'm sorry. I'm taking my 2 5-gallon buckets. I'm walking up the pool. I slip. I split my knee open. You got blood coming out of my knee. You got a little bit of sludge stuck on it.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there looking at the blood, and I look up, and it starts pouring down rain instantly. And at that moment, I like to joke in the orientation, and I'm like, why, God? Like, I'm questioning God. But I looked up, and I was so broken at that point. Like, that reflection was like, I can't, as far as American standards, you're almost like, man, I can't go a whole lot lower than this. Sure. Like, this is it. And I'm like, Lord, if this is what you have for me, like, so be it. And this was still as an unbeliever. Well, during that time, Danny and I continue to serve my dad, and we get a flyer comes in, and it's for American Leak Detection. American Leak Detection is the nation's largest swimming pool leak detection company. And I look at Danny, I'm like, Danny, I'm like, man, I know how to do this. My dad taught me how to do this. Why don't we see with my dad's blessing if he'll let me do that? So we go to my dad, and we've been serving my dad well. And I'm like, Dad, would you mind if we go into leak detection? We won't go into all these other things, just the specialty. And he gives me the green light. He's like, you guys are good to go. He's like, you guys have been working hard. Like, you guys take this aspect. So, brother, we take that aspect and we start working it, and we're working hard, and the things start taking off, and we start getting some work in, and we start getting to the point that we need our first employee. And this is where it gets super, super interesting. So we need our first employee. We kind of get the word out in our circles. And really the first person that comes is a guy by the name of Matthew Borgstrom. Okay. You know Matt?
Yep. We've met. Yeah.
Okay. So Matt comes in, and what was incredible, Matt is just the senior pastor at Redeemer Bible Church in Orlando. Matt comes to me, and he's like, hey, I want to take the job. And he's like, but if I take the job, I have to tell you what the Lord's done in my life. And the reason Matt was saying that is because Matt used to be my old youth pastor at Christ Fellowship. So this is what's so crazy about what the Lord did. Well, Matt will tell you that he was a make-believer. Okay. He really didn't believe in the Lord while leading youth ministries.
Wow.
In Christ Fellowship, in which I was a part of that. So he's coming to me now, and he's going to be the first employee really of the company. And he's sitting there saying, I want the job, but I got to tell you what the Lord did in my life, Mark. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, no. We got history, Mark. I really got to tell you what the Lord did. And I'm like, Matt, do you want the job or not want the job? Like really pushing this narrative. And he's like, yeah, I do, but I want to tell you. And I'm like, all right, you can tell me. Well, Matt was such a faithful guy. Matt comes into the company and essentially he starts really questioning my beliefs and my faith and says, hey, can you walk me through the scriptures on any of the things that you believe? And I said, sure. And that night I went home and I tried to find some of the things that I thought I believed and I couldn't find any of them. And I came back and I knew I had nothing. I had no foundation whatsoever. So Matt faithfully every morning starts coming in and he starts going through the gospel and he starts going through John Piper's Roman series. And I get saved going through John Piper's Roman series, going to the book of Romans through Matt, our first employee in the company.
Wow.
So when that happens, now my life is radically changing.
Yep.
You have where all I'm thinking about is serving Danny and I to now it's starting to turn into, I want to see the Lord get glorified. Well, I don't know exactly what that looks like, but what was so interesting was Matt, we started continuing to grow and we needed more people. And Matt reached out to his friends. And it just so happens that Matt was in a seminary at the time. So Matt reached out to other seminary buddies and missionaries. And next thing you know, we have his buddies who are now other seminary students. And you turn around and it's like now we have a seminary student and we have his brother, Eric Borgstrom. And our first 4 guys are all seminary guys, guys eventually going to seminary who are now all pastors, every single one of them. And these men came in and these men were working in a Colossians 3 sense unto the Lord. It wasn't man-pleasing. Well, I'd been working for my father's company. I knew what it was like to run guys, and I've never seen anyone do this. And what happened was the Lord was just showcasing for me, this is what it looks like to work unto the glory of God. It's like this is totally different. Well, that was so incredible for me because now I'm like, man, I want to serve like these men are serving. They were showcasing these pieces. So all that is where I'll take this and I'll share this, Caleb, this testimony every single time we have employees come in. And I just let them know, guys, this is the foundation of the company. This is why it's so meaningful. If at any point we are not actually taking care of people, we're going to rip those plaques off the wall. So it's like, man, when we say it's to magnify God's glory, it's about God's glory. It's not Danny and I. Yeah. We are nothing. When it comes to taking care of people, that's the way through which God gets glory, is taking care of people. And then when it comes to funding gospel ministry, if this business is going to generate revenue, we want to see this actually go into the kingdom. So, brother, that's it.
Amazing.
And it's been 18 years.
Wow.
Now we're basically 300 employees deep. And,
okay.
and
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
We're across the state of Florida and going into other states. And it's like the Lord has just blessed the company as a result of that. But it's all for his glory.
Yeah. That's amazing. I've heard bits and pieces of that story with just our conversations and stuff over the past couple of years. And I just always appreciate just it's almost like it's a good picture and story of how, like, when we kind of try to claw at things, we mess everything up. And when we let God take the wheel, as it were, things turn out so much better, Oh, yeah. And hear me, audience. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to preach the prosperity gospel here, at all. But the Lord definitely blesses faithfulness, and faith and blessings come in many different variations. And so, but it's just, your story is super is super encouraging. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. We could go on and on so many different contexts of that. When the Lord saved me, we also doing the whole import export thing, going to Jamaica. The temptations of the world were like on massive display. So when we got into this company, when we started and the Lord saved us, there was definitely a massive distrust of our own hearts to the point where even praying, Lord, don't make this too easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if this becomes too easy, we're not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And it needs to come hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, we need to make sure that we know this wasn't of us. And it's the Lord's so kind. It's like he's gonna make sure as believers we understand that.
Yeah.
And he's done many things in my life to bring me low out of love and just discipline me in faithfulness.
Yeah.
So it's super thankful. I just say all that to put that in good perspective of I'm a huge fan of business and entrepreneurship, but there's also there's a lot of dangers as a result of a lot of those ways of thinking. Yeah. So people need to know how to dive in and think through a lot of those pieces. Yeah. Because it's tempting. It's extremely tempting.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good. Okay. So kind of coming off that then, what's your role in the company and how do you view it as a Christian? And we've established CEO of Red Rhino. How do you view that as a believer?
Yeah, that's a great question. What's funny is when we say CEO, you got Danny and I started the company. So as a result of that, I get the CEO title. He's the finance guy, so he gets the CFO title. We would joke and say, I'm the fake CEO. He's the fake CFO. Because here's the reality. It's those titles can mean a whole lot of different things. And when you start a company, especially a small company, a lot of that's just a fancy title you slap on something. And then there's guys that actually grow into it and truly understand what it means to be an executive, which I don't claim to be. And I'm just so thankful for the Lord's kindness and allowing me to even be in this role to do these things. But with all that said, my current role, you get the typical, visionary, strategic planning, and a lot of R&D stuff. But if you were to ask me what is my true main role or function, I would say I'm more of like the CPO or the Chief People Officer. Like this is, for me, this is the biggie. It is all about taking care of people. So, brother, if you want to know, in my mind, what does it mean to be a CEO of the company? If you're a Christian CEO, man, you better be the guy that is ensuring the company has the vision and knows where it's going. You're guiding it towards that. And if it's getting off track or losing itself, it's on you. But are people being taken care of along the way? So that's what I major in. This is a platform, just like anything else the Lord gives us. And I want to use this platform to see the Lord get glory. And I want to see people taken care of. You have in the passage of Matthew 5, where it talks about us being the light of the world. And it actually references talking about a city on a hill can't be hidden. And we don't take the lamp and we don't hide it and put it under a basket. And the same way in 16, it says, your light must shine before men in such a way they see your good works. They glorify our Father in heaven. If that's not nailing it, where it's like the way in which we take care of people puts the gospel on display in unique ways. And it's like those good works. So in my mind, it's just like, how well are we taking care of people? And then it really is starting off with your employees. And we have something we call the company hierarchy, and it's Red Rhino, so our people are the rhinos. It's rhinos first, and then our tier 2 is customers and partners, and then the numbers. Numbers matter, but that's not our priority. It's people first. So when it comes to people care, and my favorite thing to talk about with all CEOs is how are you taking care of people? How well are you taking care of people? And let me tell you, people care is hard. And we bomb at it all the time. And we are super open about those things. But my job is to dive in and make sure that we are growing and that we are consistently making sure that our people are taken care of. And that starts with our people, then it goes to our customers. And I could dive into all the nuances between those. But
no, that's really helpful. And I think it can be, especially I'm imagining in your shoes, like it can be kind of easily go away because you are trying to keep a business running.
Absolutely.
And so it's these are good reminders that people matter, people are everything. So.
If you do not get vigilant about having things in place to protect that, there's not a shot you're going to keep it. So I would be remiss not to bring up the name Jake Lidke in this conversation. So it's Jake Lidke is a dear friend and another pastor in Albany, Oregon. And Jake was one of the founding guys in this organization. And Jake, to this point, he is on the board and he has legal power over this company. So we intentionally, Danny and I, the two owners, put a pastor as the swing vote to ensure our heart is guarded. And let me tell you something, Caleb. When you walk into a board meeting with a pastor and he starts tearing through everything, it's like, dude, he's shooting straight with you. And that is one of many things that's a huge grace. Other thing real quick is we have our annual survey to our employees. We call the Voice of the Rhino. And it's a tradition. We take the Voice of the Rhino. We solicit all the feedback on like, where are we bombing? Where are we doing good? What does this look like? And then we get together as a leadership team and we review every single item on that. And you're talking hundreds of comments. And Caleb, I wish every one of these comments were good. But it's like, man, you get rhinos are real. Like man, we keep it raw. We keep it real. They provide some pretty real feedback. And it's one of the hardest days of the year for me. Because there's a bunch of good stuff, but the good stuff you're grazing over super quick and you're getting to the hard stuff. But what a blessing to not lose yourself. What a blessing in that, to read that and be like, man, we are losing our priority. We're not taking care of customers or our employees like we need to in these ways. And then we get to talk about it as a group. So that's just highlighting a quick little business practice. And there's many other things like that, but it's, what do you have in place to ensure that you are not losing yourself in the minutia of business, in the pursuit of wealth? It's like, another one would be what's on the wall right now. The mural in this office.
It's pretty amazing.
So I won't go over the whole thing, but it's Cross of Calvary on the background. Lighting the way. So it's on a ship and I'm the captain of the ship. But then off to the right, it's a reminder of all the things that will shipwreck my faith. And it's, man, wealth, power, women. It's like all the temptations that have sunk men far wiser and greater than I would ever imagine. It's men needs better make sure that they are plugged in and availing themselves inside the body and through discipleship, and have other means of accountability in their life, because there's the temptations were strong.
And just being around you the last few years, I've really appreciated how you have a lot of coaches in your life from the church, and even I believe some outside the church, just business guys and whatever, speaking into your life. So I appreciate your humility and teachability in that, and I know it's all to love people better and be more like Christ,
for sure.
So I appreciate that about you. For sure.
No, and my pastor Jerry Ragg just models that so well. Just about, man, getting not being intimidated by other men that are that much more gifted than you, in humility and having to learn is literally why one of the means the Lord's used in this company. It is definitely not Danny and I. I sit in a room of everyone that's that much smarter than me in that room. And I get to listen to them and learn from them. Like, that's incredible stuff. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Oh man, this is all so good. We could probably sit here for a couple of days and just chat. So, we'll keep going here. Okay. So this is something that I think will resonate with a lot of our listeners. How do you balance family, church, and work?
Caleb, that's so easy. That's so easy. Do you struggle with that?
No. I just want to see if you know.
I got that down. I'll give you the quick, surefire way to just do that. Man, time management, priorities, understanding your priorities, understanding the changing nature of priorities. Like, this is a lifelong endeavor of growing in these things. But I can give you a ton of what not to do, and I'll give you a bunch of. I'll start off with what not to do. So, Caleb, the joke in our house was season. When you heard the word season, my wife would almost slap me when she heard the word season, because when we were starting the business, it was so intense, the time requirements, that I kept coming home and said, honey, it's a season, it's a season, it's a season, it's a season. And she's like, if you say season one more time. And I'm like, she's like, stop saying the word season. This is your life.
Oh, that's so good.
And that was super hard for me. Super, super hard for me, because there's no question, there's truth on, if you're starting something, what is the cost associated to that, and the role you take, entrepreneurship, owning a company, all those things. There's a cost associated to that. But the reality is, man, you're gonna have a lot on your plate. And what we like to do is make a bunch of excuses for having misplaced priorities in the guise of, oh, we're just being faithful in business. We use that. Business is so much easier than being a faithful husband, or being a faithful father, or being a faithful churchman. It's like, the business is the easy side. We can do that in our sleep, and we like it. So being a younger, immature Christian, you're kind of going through those things. It's season. Oh, honey, it's the priorities. There are priorities, but I can tell you right now, there's not a shot I was able to actually accurately evaluate those things at that time. Even now, it's a constant guarding of the heart, of what actually is a priority and what I'm saying is a priority that isn't. So I just want to start off with that to let you know how, man, this has been, I have bombed at this for a long time, and I've learned some things along the way, and it is fiercely fighting to protect your priorities. But a couple of things I learned along the way were things like, first things first. So really understanding what your priorities are, and then getting those down on the calendar before you're filling it up with everything else. If you don't take some type of approach like that, you're going to be in trouble. There's a book called A 12-Week Year. And then they got the exercise where you lay out the ideal week. And the ideal week is just a tactic, but it's a very powerful tactic of, hey, priorities change in seasons, but evaluate those priorities and then lay them out in the ideal week. And then, like, okay, my family time and my church commitments, and here's my one-on-one discipleship with my kids. Okay, all these get laid out. Then here's all my other context in the ideal week. And now fighting for the ideal week. Well, the reason that's so helpful is because if you don't have the ideal week, what happens is life comes in and messes everything up. And then you forget what you should even be fighting for. So having that ideal week on the wall, and I've done this exercise with a bunch of guys, and it's like, you're thankful to get clarity on this. Jake Lidkey would come to me all the time and say, Mark, show me your calendar. And I would be embarrassed to show my calendar, because I'm like, oh, no, this is it. He's going to see everything. Like, how am I doing with my time? And in shame, I would turn my computer around and he would look and he'd be like, hey, bro, why are you doing this? And why are you doing that? And why are you doing this? Like, so many other people can do that. You don't need to be doing this. You got more time. And those were super hard and super helpful.
Yeah.
So I'd say understanding your priorities. Jerry Ragg has a sermon where he talks about we're called to be faithful. And the reality is there's not this just perfect vertical, it's God and then family and then work. No, the Lord says be faithful in all things. And sometimes there is going to be work things that you have to allocate so much of your time to in a legitimate season. And sometimes there is going to be needs of the church. And then sometimes there is going to be needs at family that you need to lay down those other. You're called to be faithful. And then trust the Lord in the results of that, and then manage that to the best of your abilities. Super easy to say, ridiculously hard to live. It's a discipline like everything else, but those practically have been helpful for me. As I evaluate the season that I'm in, what are my priorities? Ideal week, what does it look like to be faithful in those things? Now I fiercely fight to execute on them.
Yeah, that's helpful. And one thing you said was something to the point of it's a lifelong journey, something like that.
That's right.
Meaning you're not gonna figure it out. And I think if I'm honest with myself, I want to figure it out.
Yes.
Like I want to have it figured out so I could put it on cruise control.
Yes.
But then I suppose if I was on cruise control, that would probably not be good for sanctification.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So
yeah. It's
good,
brother. It's a discipline like anything else.
Yep.
It's like eating healthy. It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's just like, show me somebody that has all those things on cruise control. But it's like the Lord uses that to humble us.
Yep.
In the way we don't have all these things together, and we need to be dependent. And anytime we think we do and we're relying on those things, the Lord comes and shakes that stuff up real nice just to show us you don't have it all together. You need to be dependent upon me.
Yeah.
So thankful to the Lord for that. So we strive to do the best we can in our finite ways, but it's a discipline, and it comes over time. It comes over forging convictions in those things and striving to be faithful and learning to do that over time, and then failing and picking it back up. Not walloping in self-pity, but that happening that much just quicker, that you rebound from those things and get at it because you're not walloping in self-pity. You know that it's just like, man, I'm a flawed human being. The Lord is so kind. Phil Moser's Taking Back Time, great resource on that as well.
Awesome. Well, okay, then to wrap us up here, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting a company?
So many different aspects are coming to mind that you could take. I'm going to hit it from two, I would say, principles that are going to be really helpful for them. First principle is going to be really learning to look out for the interests of others. Okay. That's somewhat in line with the golden rule of treating people the way you want to be treated. But here's where I say, look out for the interests of others. It's the Philippians 2 context, doing nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility, considering others more important than yourself. Here's why, though: not merely looking out for your own personal interests, but the interests for others. You talk about a CEO, you talk about being an owner, you have resources, you're taking care of people. You better strive to major in serving other people. And for the glory of God, not the glory of you. But it's like, are you truly striving to look out for others? Am I truly striving to look out for my employees? Am I doing what's in their best interest? Am I thinking about their family and their time allocation or their time management? Or am I just pushing to get as much out of them as I can? Am I trying to manipulate them to stay in the company because that's what's best for me? Or am I doing what's best for them? They got another opportunity. Am I willing to let that go and do what's in their best interest? So you doing that, the same thing with customers. Think about it from a customer perspective. Learning to serve customers and do what's in their best interest where now when it comes up to my products and services and the way that I'm servicing them, I'm fair pricing. I'm not gouging people. Honest sales tactics. I'm not lying or doing these manipulative sales. You need this. I'm telling a customer you need this when they don't need it. No, you're truly striving to take care of people. So just learning to consistently focus on taking care of people and looking out for their interests. If you do that, the Lord is the one that takes care of you. The Lord honors that. He's the one that blesses you. It's not us trying to manipulate and put dollars in our pocket and do those things. The Lord knows how to correct that as well. So it's just like that focus, man, learn to look out for the interests of other people. Critical foundation. And then the second thing is going to be failing fast and learning. Man, fail fast and learn. Don't be content with all these mere thoughts of these great things that you can do or what you can build or what that looks like. If I told you how many people I have sat down with that have told me how many great ideas they have and this, that, only to come back the next year and 3 years later and tell me the same idea, it'd make your head spin. Where it's just like, bro, get at it.
Yep.
Go break some stuff and learn. Stop being afraid to actually go implement. Go actually implement. I'm not saying don't take care of people when you do that. That's not what I mean. I go out and fail and learn. There's no substitute for that experience. You need to get out and actually implement. It's typically pride that stops us from pushing forward. We're more consumed with what people will think about us if we fail. And that's so paralyzing. I'd rather play it safe and do nothing. When I'm in a meeting and I'm talking with my people, truly, they are that much more talented and just smarter than I am. And I'm asking questions. Half my questions probably sound, but I'm not being afraid not to ask the questions because I need the clarity. And I'm shooting to get that. And by God's grace, that's leading to great things because you have to learn not to be afraid. It's the people pleasing, what that looks like. Yeah. And especially when it comes to failing. So fail fast and learn and adopt a mentality of humbling yourself and moving forward and learning. And if you do that, there is not a shot. You're not going to have this huge wealth of knowledge that will prove to be extremely beneficial. Doesn't matter what you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time, brother. You were talking about just taking care of people and taking care of your people. I don't even work for you, and I've felt so taken care of over the past couple of years, getting, having our mandates, as we call them, I guess. Yeah. So I just, I appreciate you and just your general love for people and those around you. So you're a great example. Oh. Thanks again for your wisdom, Lord. And we love you and your family. So
Caleb, just love you and Mel. And brother, I know this, you're going to be moving on from Florida here next 3 days. So bittersweet, but just know you were just such a joy and so loved. And I'm just so thankful for you. So super sweet. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, brother.